Good morning. What a sight to behold. This week between Christmas and New Year's is a time for me to, sit down and relax and recharge my batteries before we begin back at school in January. And it gives me time to think about the growing season that is ahead. And especially when I have days like today. I mean, it's supposed to be a gorgeous day today, obviously. I mean, look at these skies. We never, ever, it seems that way anyways, have gorgeous blue skies this time of year. It's usually very gray, very overcast, and snowy. But today is feeling very spring-like. Now, the sun does rise over here. Okay, this is the furthest point since we just passed the solstice. And then as we progress towards spring, it rises until we get into about the middle of my backyard. And I always mark that catalpa tree right here as the middle of my backyard. And that's kind of my gauge. Every time I see the sunrise, it gets a little bit closer, which means we're a little bit closer to spring, which really, really makes me happy. But because it's feeling so spring-like, I'm going to get on with the task today. That is going to make me all the more excited for the growing season to come and for the spring-like weather. So let's go inside and take a look. I hope you all had a really, really nice holiday. I definitely did. It was really nice just spending time with my family, breaking bread and catching up and all those lovely things. It has been quite a joy to be able to sleep in these past couple of days, and I'm very happy that I still have the whole week ahead of me. This is Tuesday. You guys will be seeing this on Saturday, so I still have a number of free days left, and I've got lots of different projects that I want to get on with, but this is the project that I'm going to be sharing with you today. I received 2 parcels in the mail last week, and this clutter, I need some tea, hold on a minute. This clutter in front of me are my seeds. This mess in front of me is what my seed collection looks like at the moment. So I don't know where to begin, but I'm all about organization, and that's what we're going to be dealing with today. I'll probably be having to do a lot of editing with this so that it doesn't end up being a 2-hour video. So 2 lovely parcels in the mail. I purchased these seeds a long time ago. They came in the mail. My first shipment was from Pine Tree Seeds. And I love going through them. They're in New Gloucester, Maine. Okay. And then the other one, of course, is from M.I. Gardner. And he stocked all of his seeds probably the first week of December. So I made sure to get online and get everything that I needed. I will be doing a lot of trading and swapping and whatnot with my sister, with my father, with different friends and stuff like that. So, there's plenty to go around, but I mean, I need to get a handle on all of this. I just want to show you how I deal with this mess. And this is everything, it's been accumulating since the end of the growing season. We're talking about seeds that I haven't used, okay, from last gardening season, seeds that have been given to me, seeds that I have saved, and then of course the seeds that I have purchased this year. So I've got all these little bags here. These are mostly the seeds that I have saved. Okay, and there's still more seed saving to do because I have some more veg, mainly winter squash, in my pantry that hasn't been used yet, that I'm planning to keep the seeds for. So, where do I begin? So, let me just give you an overview on how I sort my seeds, and I will be going for this large tin here. This is my vegetable seed tin. And I showed you this video last year on how I sort seeds and how I keep them all separate and in check. So inside the tin for veg, I have these smaller envelopes. Okay, so this is root veg. I have it labeled in the front. And then on the back, okay, these seeds are from 2020. I have all the seeds that I have put inside each one of these little envelopes labeled. So obviously, I'm going to go for the older seed first, see what's viable, see what's not, and then as I work my way through that, I can discard seeds if I need to. I haven't really had any issues with super old seed. Granted, the viability might be less. I may not get as much germination, but for the most part, my seed isn't any older than 2020. So if some of it comes up, great, I'm going to use it. If not, that's what I have the backups for. Okay, so I'm a year or so, year and a half ahead of myself. I always have enough seed in case the older seed doesn't come to anything. So that's pretty much how I roll. Now, when I'm going through here, I need to kind of check to see, because you know, as gardeners yourselves, you're gonna find that, you know, when you're done sowing your seeds for the season, you just kind of throw everything in the containers that they came from, and you're not really, you know, keeping an eye on what needs to be thrown away, what needs to be replaced, etc., etc. So that's the first thing I will do. I will go through these seed packets, these containers, one at a time, and I'm going to see what seed I still have. There might be empty envelopes in here for that matter. Okay, for example, I have this lovely kale, Nero di Toscana. This is empty, so it's going to be discarded. But most of these have seed still left in them, so I'm going to just replace them as I go along. Okay. I also want to make sure that everything that are in these little envelopes indeed match up with the envelope that it's in. If I'm going through, this is, okay, greens, if I go through here and I find a squash seed packet, I need to take that out and I need to sort it. So the good news is a lot of this, after going through it, will stay in these envelopes. I don't need to add to them or anything like that, because everything that I'm going to be doing with new seed will get its brand new own envelope. So just making sure, giving things a shake. It also gives me a minute to go through and see what I need, if I still need more seed. I have to tell you what, I did buy quite a number of seeds this year, so I'm thinking that I might be okay. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with those. Going through, making sure everything is kosher. All right. I'm just going to put these all away. This is a job that I will get on with after I'm done filming with you guys, so you don't have to sit through it. Okay, I'm going to put this down. The next thing I want to go through are the seeds that I have either saved or have been given to me, because all of these seeds have been harvested this past growing season, which means they will all kind of go in the same container, the same envelopes, the same labels as the new seeds that I have purchased this year. And it's cool. I've gotten a few things that have been really interesting to me from some friends, and move this out of the way. And some of the things that I've saved myself. So that's what these brown paper bags are for. So I have the Coco Noir. This is the zucchini that I grew this year. It's gorgeous. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous zucchini. yeah, it was great. I absolutely loved it. Okay, I have my yellow straight-necked squash. These are zinnias that I saved. And let's see, YOLO Wonder, bell pepper. What else do I have in here? More paper bags. These are my tomatoes. Heinz, New Yorker, Sweetie, Roma Plum, Glamour, and beefsteak. And then some new arrivals from friends. And my coworker Stacy gave these to me. And these are milkweed seeds. Now I've never grown milkweed from seed before, although I really do have the most ideal backyard for it because they do like to grow in kind of swampy conditions. So I do know, however, that milkweed seed needs to be stratified, meaning that, you know, it needs to have a long period of cold before it's going to be able to germinate. So I'm going to put these aside and I'm going to throw them into the refrigerator, possibly the freezer, to get those stratified so that I can perhaps sow those. Whoa, let's see. I've got Blue Hubbard. This is from the large Blue Hubbard that I had sown, that I had grown. Okay, that massive Blue Hubbard, and I got like 100 seeds out of it. I mean, it was absolutely huge, and I'm definitely growing it again. I did manage to cut it all up and make some of it, and it was just beautiful. It was gorgeous. So almost like a sweet potato. It was excellent. This is going to be interesting. My dear friend Sean that I work with left this on my desk. Sean's from Alabama. Check this out. I have no idea if this is going to grow up here, but I am so willing to try it as an experiment. Yes, friends, cotton. How cool is that? Picked from I think it was her grandmother's estate down in Alabama. And I can feel the seeds. Now, I'm just going to pull one out here, if I can. I need to get myself a cotton gin, I think. Here we go. I'm going to have to do some serious research on this because I have no idea from start to finish. Ooh, it's really in there. Now it's a little bit of a, it looks like the end of a swab, end of a Q-tip. Very soft, but the seed is pretty big. Now I'm not sure if this is a pod and there are small seeds inside. Not completely sure, but like I said, I'm going to do some research on it, and that's really, really exciting to me. Who knows? Who knows? All right. So I'm also going to put all of these aside. I will get these in their own. Actually, you know what? I might do what I did with the tomatoes and keep them in these large paper bags and then just label them that way. Lots and lots of seeds. I do have seeds in here. I was carrying this about. This was a package that I purchased, or not a package. These are seeds that I had purchased throughout the year, okay? So at the beginning of the year, I have my big seed buy. I buy all my seeds online for the most part. And then throughout the year, I would go to different shops and I would pick up seed here and there. So all of this needs to be sorted through. It's just a whole mixture. I've got beans in here, spinach, peas, Swiss chard, all sorts of stuff in here. So this needs to be sorted through. Oh, my precious dasher seeds are in here too. That's my cucumber, the one that was just nonstop. So, yes, I will get to that in a second. So I have my 3T, I'm just so all over the place right now. This is my organizational process. I have so many seeds around me. I've got my 3 major tins. I showed you my veg tin, okay? I bought that in Vivi's shop. I've got my little card box for my herbs. And then this one is for flowers. So I keep them all separate that way. What a mess, what a mess. All right. New seeds for this year. first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to separate them into these 3 categories, the big categories: vegetables, flowers, and herbs. Okay, 3 piles. And then what I will do once I'm done with that is I will separate them into their own categories. Okay, depending on, you know, how I label those little envelopes. And there is just, I really go crazy. I really do. Insane. Absolutely insane. You can see right in front of you, the veg pile is quite big. Everything else, not so much, because I pretty much stick with what I usually grow. There are some new things that I'd like to share with you. Okay, so these are the Mi Gardener seeds. Oh dear, I have a problem. But like I said, I don't just grow for myself. I grow for family and friends and things like that. So this is not me just hoarding seeds. I share the wealth. I try to, at least, because sometimes people just don't get around to it. Or sometimes people maybe have never gardened before and they get that first little itch in the spring, you know, if they run into a YouTube channel or a gardening show and they think to themselves, oh, you know what? I think I might want to give that a try this year. But then they feel very downtrodden and they don't know where to start. So, you know, I feel as gardeners that it's kind of incumbent upon us to help people like that, right? Especially when it comes to, you know, giving them the opportunity to have plants as opposed to buying them, and then giving them, I'm gonna have to think about this one, where it goes, and then perhaps, you know, giving them the opportunity to try growing their own seeds, and that's another place where, you know, we really as gardeners can help them out. Did you really like that plant? Here's some seeds. Try them yourself. You know, kind of, I mean, for lack of a better term, you're sowing those seeds inside of them. Okay, I have a mountain of veg here and not too many flowers and not a lot of the herbs here, but calendula. I did buy quite a bit of calendula seed. I do have a lot that's left over from last year, and I did harvest some, so I didn't go crazy with that. Nicotiana. Okay, this is the flowering tobacco. I have not had luck growing this, and I keep trying, and I don't know if it's the conditions. I have not had luck growing this since I lived with my parents and I started experimenting with different seeds. And it makes me really upset because I just love the smell of this Nicotiana. It's so beautiful. And you know, midsummer when it's warm outside in the evening. I did get some more zinnia. I did harvest a lot of that. My herbs: fennel, dill, chamomile, rosemary, bog standard, thyme, sage, parsley, a couple varieties of basil. Okay, these are like the Italian, the regular basil. I got some lemon basil this year. I got tulsi, which I grew last year, which was gorgeous. White sage and regular culinary sage, and St. John's wort. I want to do more herbs this year. I absolutely do, without a doubt. This was a weird one for me. Rice. I figure if Luke is selling it with Mi Gardener that it might be something that I can grow here. Lord knows I have the moisture for it back here. So, yeah. We'll see. I don't know. It takes 90 to 100 days until maturity. It says a large grain rice is easy to grow and doesn't need a rice paddy to grow. It doesn't need it? Well, I got one. Okay. So those are set. I will put those alphabetically, okay? The flowers go alphabetically. They don't get their own little envelope. They go alphabetically in the flower tin. And then the herbs, I've got them all done alphabetically. These, though, we've got legumes. So, cannellini beans, root veg, rutabaga, peppers. This is a corno di toro. So this is another one, a new one that I'm going to be growing. Okay, corno di toro, I think, means heart of a bull. All right, Yola Wonder, this is also pepper. I grew this last year and I have saved seed for it as well. Sweet banana. There's some more cannellini beans. I will get cannellini beans this year. Come hell or high water. I mean, after that, showing you the video of beans and greens, like, I want my own cannellini beans. All right, sweet meat, squash. Okay, so this is a new category. I now have 4 categories. Now I have tomatoes. Okay, here's another category. Eggplant. I might put those, no. I think I put eggplant and pepper together, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna try some celery this year. Broccoli is going to be, excuse me, brassicas. Here's a new root veg that I'm going to give a try. Sugar beet. So I'll put that in with the roots. Veg. Zucchini. And that's going to be zucchini and summer squash. Here's another one. Put that in. All right. Summer squash, winter squash. Spaghetti squash is a winter squash. Sweetie tomato. And so on and so forth. Okay. Oh yeah, these are brassicas. Swiss chard. Got carrots. The usual. I do Scarlet Nance and Danvers every year. I'm going to try this Imperator. I don't know how to pronounce it. We'll see how that goes. Beets. Cabbage. Growing the same cabbage that I grew last year. I had great success with that. Now, what did I do here? Trying to keep everything in check here. Beans. Spinach is going to go with salad greens. Swiss chard, lettuce, some more lettuce, collards, kale. Again, if there's anything brand new, I will show it to you. But if I'm just saying, cabbage, pretty much the same varieties that you saw me work with last year. And of course, you're going to see as the seasons progress what I'm going to be planting individually, the variety and whatnot. This is just a fun way of getting everything sorted, everything looking good. Normally I would have music playing in the background, but alas, YouTube won't like it. I have been listening to, I've been on a real Joni Mitchell kick lately. I don't know why, but she's been keeping me company. It's one of those, Joni Mitchell is very much like a spring, summertime music that I listen to also. These are pumpkins, some more winter squash. Winter squash, winter squash, winter squash. You probably think this is way too much for his tiny garden. But remember, my sister is in the throes of possibly buying a farm. So I'm hoping that a lot of this will, if she can get it, we'll head there. Beans, broad beans. Here's a couple new ones that I'll share with you. Let's see. Broccoli, squash, and spinach. All right, a couple of new things we got here. This one you probably saw on Vivi's Christmas broadcast that she had on YouTube. This is a bush bean called Coco Noir. Gorgeous. And she grows like the Coco Sophie and the Coco de Pompal. So I bought these with Vivi in mind, and I wanted to give them a try. And these are shelling beans. Okay, these are beans that you dry and harvest. But I can't personally find I've been wanting to try the Coco de Pampal and the Coco Sophie beans, but can't find them here in the States. If you know where I could find them by, seed company, etc., throw it in the comments box below because I would really like to try them. But Coco Noir, that's nice and close, Noir, sorry. And then Hale's Best Jumbo Cantaloupe. I'm going to continue the cantaloupe journey, okay? I'm going to give myself my own grow challenge this year with cantaloupe. Thanks to Jane and all of the other friends who joined us in the Transatlantic Melon Challenge. I've really enjoyed growing melons, and I want to grow a lot more this year for sure. And I think those are going to be in the tunnel. I don't think I'm going to grow any outside the tunnel this year. The Sugar Baby watermelon that I had worked really, really well in there, so might as well stick with what works. All right. So, where to put celery? I think I'll put it in with salads. I don't really know which category to use. So, now that everything is sorted into their own category, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab myself a brand new blank envelope. All right. And for this one, I'm going to be putting the word tomato. All right. Then I'm going to label 2022. Okay, I label the year, the growing season for which I buy. I don't label the year it was harvested, I guess. Most of the seeds will have that on there anyways, so you can check it out. And a lot of the seeds here will say, for example, okay, packed for 2022. Okay, so for example, this one is Tigerella. I'm going to put Tigerella right here. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to put PTS, Pine Tree Seeds. Okay, so if I use all of these and I discard the packet, I'm going to know from my little envelope that I had purchased Tigerella tomato seeds from Pine Tree Seeds. And the same with this. Okay, Amish paste. I'm going to label Amish paste. And I'm going to put M-I-G for M.I. Gardner. Okay. So we've got aroma. That is M.I. Gardner. Mig. I've got Sweetie, my absolute favorite. I was out of seed for that, so and I didn't get very much from what I had collected from my own plants, so I needed some backup. MIG, and then Martino's Roma, and that is PTS. All labeled and thrown into the envelope. Okay, so I know that these tomatoes are for this year, okay, but I'm going to go through the ones from last year and possibly the year before if I still have any left over, and I'm going to use those first. I might need myself a bigger tin, but I do have some backups here. Everything that I have left in the brown bags will stay in the brown bags. I have a very large cardboard box where I'm keeping all of that seed. But then, once everything is done, I know this really seems pedantic. My journal, my gardening journal, okay? I'm gonna start a new page. Should probably be flipped the right way. And I'm going to circle December. Today is the 28th. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to list all of the seeds that I purchased, where I purchased them, etc. And then I'm also going to be labeling all the seeds that I had saved, okay, just to keep track of everything. I will usually use this journal as a means to plan out which seeds I'm going to be sowing when, okay? So I'll be going back into my journal and seeing, okay, this week in February, I sowed my peppers and my eggplant, okay? I can go into the journal and I can see, okay, these are the varieties that I purchased this year. These are the varieties that I have saved. And of course, I can look in the tins as well, but it's almost like a cross-reference for me, okay? So many seeds. Once all of this is taken care of, I need a slug of tea. Hold on a minute. Once I'm done getting all of these sorted, labeled, and taken care of, what I can do then is take a look at my inventory and see if I have anything that I am missing, okay, and make an order for it. I want to get more into medicinal herbs this year. My sister bought a huge package from Pine Tree, and she said she's going to be willing to, it's a herbal medicine packet. She's going to share some with me. Thank you, Beth, very much. And I will share with her as well. And, you know, now is the best time, once all this is taken care of, to take a little looky through all the seed catalogs that I'm starting to get in the mail, because then I'm going to know what I already have. I won't order double, okay? I'll be hopefully be a little responsible about it. What a mess. I need to get all of this sorted and all of this taken care of, but I just wanted to give you kind of an update as to how I deal with this mess, because I know if you're a grower, you got this mess too. We all have it, but we all have our own different way of sorting through it and making sure everything is organized. So, I mean, we have still about a couple months before we're going to start pushing seeds into the soil. However, that might be a little different for me this year, seeing as how I have a tunnel and I need to start utilizing it. That's for another video. So, that's pretty much it for me, guys. This was kind of a long banter. What, we're going on 30 minutes of me blabbing about seeds, but it's so exciting. I don't find this to be overwhelming in the least. I find this to be extremely exciting. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting these taken care of, cleaned up, and then starting to stick my nose into the book, into the, not the book, the seed catalogs, to see if there's anything new and unusual that might pique my interest. So, all right. Well, I hope you are all well. By the time you see this, Happy New Year to you. It's 2022. Not really yet, but it will be. I hope this is going to be a really, really good gardening year for you guys. I will be back soon with a Make Do Monday, finally. Yay. And yeah, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I will see you all really, really soon. So long.